Yeah, afternoon YouTube. Well, you know from if you've been following my videos that I've been having some issues with the PulseJet Go Kart, and last night it just occurred to me that I never got instructions directly from Bob on exactly how to hook up my fuel, run fuel and start fuel lines. And I went off the pictures that he sent me from when he was constructing my engine, had it on the test stand. Then I went back and watched his video of the orange plywood go-kart, and I noticed something very interesting. The color of the propane tanks from the setup on my test stand, on his test stand when he was building this engine, the tanks were hooked up to different ports than they were on his go-kart. So I got to thinking, well, maybe the reason I'm having so much trouble with this thing is because the fuel lines are hooked up backwards, and I'm putting vapor in where I should be putting liquid, and vice versa. So I came out here about midnight last night after having that thought, and spent about an hour or so redoing the electrical connections and the fuel line connections. And I didn't really get to try it last night, so I'm going to try it now. And I'm going to take the thing out and I'm going to start it up. See, previously I thought that this was the liquid injection after the engine was started. But on Bob's go-kart, he has his vapor tank, which he clearly identifies as the vapor tank, hooked to this, which makes more sense because injecting vapor into this tailpipe going into a large into the combustion chamber would create airflow and ignite the fuel, which should initiate resonance on vapor. And then injecting liquid in front of the two short intake stacks should tend to promote the process of the air coming in here in resonance, breaking up the liquid into a burnable mixture. So what I'm going to do right now is take this thing outside now that I have rewired it and replumbed it. This was my starting fuel. This is now my run fuel, and vice versa. So I have the liquid tank feeding to this solenoid, which goes to the two injectors at the short stacks, and I have this solenoid hooked up to my starting fuel tank, which I took the Schrader valve out of, which give me increased flow since this tank has a regular needle valve built into it. I don't need the Schrader valve, and I drilled out the center of the standard propane bottle feed pin so that I could get more flow through this fitting that I purchased from Nash Fuel. So let's see what happens. Now, since I'm out here by myself, I've got to roll up my door so I can get this thing out of here. So I'm going to set this in the seat while I do that. Not sure how good the picture is going to be and so on like that, so please bear with me. bungees on there to hold this thing up so it doesn't knock me in the head. And roll out my extra length of tarp that I have here for my front porch, I guess you could call it. Move this out of the way. Okay, now we're going to roll this thing outside here. I'll move it all the way down here, pretty far from the building, just in case. Now I'm going to put the fuse in it to activate the electrical system, turn on the starting fuel, and let's see what happens. Ignition on. Fuel. Well, we got plenty of fire, but no resonance. Let's see what happens if I turn on the liquid. Something still ain't right. I think I just ran out of starting fuel, so I'm going to have to hook up my hose and siphon some liquid off into the little starting fuel tank, because I've done quite a few tests. Well, that sounded encouraging if it just do that on the initial. But anyway, just wanted to bring you this update. I've got to take the car in to get it serviced, so maybe I'll work some more with this thing this afternoon when I get back. Till then, we'll be talking to you later. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, hit the like button or the unlike button, leave a comment if you want to. We'll work this thing out. I'm sure it's something that I'm doing, because Bob tested the engine before it left his shop and it was working. So he has been tied up and evidently not checking his email. I've sent him 3 emails and he's yet to respond to me, so he may be in some deep situation. So I'll just have to wait and see. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.